What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's time for a foundation review. I want to start this new thing where I share with you guys like what I'm drinking during my reviews because I always like grab a drink before I sit down to film. Today I'm doing True Beauty. These drinks are amazing. This is the Glow blend, but they have multiples. It's not sponsored. I genuinely love these. But this has like a ton of good stuff in it, vitamins, biotin stuff to help your skin glow. So that's what we're drinking. Anyway, welcome back, guys, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Sarah. Make sure you hit that subscribe button before you go. As you could tell from the title, we are doing a foundation review, which is one of my favorite type of videos. I told you guys that I went crazy at Sephora because the Sephora sale is coming up and I wanted to give you guys tons of recs, and I got like 4 new foundations. One of the ones that I got was Patrick Ta. We're gonna open her up together today and try her out. And you can see my camera. I love his packaging. It's all like mirrored. I will say they get kind of smudgy on your fingers. If that annoys you, just keep that in mind. But when you first open it, it is gorgeous. Boom. So here is the foundation. This is the shade Light 4. And the cool thing about this is it comes with a finishing powder. So it's a cream foundation and a finishing powder duo. Other way around, cream foundation, powder. I truly am not sure how you're supposed to apply this, so we're gonna read. Apply cream foundation to moisturize skin, building to desired coverage. I feel like I want to use a brush and then set the powder or use the setting powder for oil prone areas. This is probably my favorite foundation brush at the moment. It's the BK Beauty 106. It's just a nice, like kind of rounded dome, dense but not too dense, little applicating whatever, foundation application brush. You can use this for everything. I use it for everything. I honestly think we're just gonna go to town. I did put my Glow Recipe primer on. Can you guys see that? Sorry, there's like a weird glare going. The Pore Smooth Blur Drops. I am not gonna delay. We're gonna go for it. I'm just dipping right in. I'm genuinely nervous. Let's zoom you in. You see the skin. Yes, we are well lit. Let's go. Oh, wow. Oh my God, you guys couldn't even see that initial application. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm legitimately applying a filter to my face. She is dewy and glowy. Honestly, I think this shade is good. What do you guys think? I actually think the match is really, really good. I'm just kind of taking it all in as I apply. I'm dipping back in, but a little bit of this goes a long way. Let's get it all in the face and then we'll talk. Okay guys, so here is the skin. My first impression is wow. I'm really shocked about the like blurring that I'm seeing happening with this foundation. I struggle mostly with pores. I'm a little acne prone. My skin's really dry and stressed out right now. And the fact, sorry, this is reflecting, but the fact that I feel like this is blurring and giving me glow, it really did feel like I was applying a filter to my skin as it was going on. I'm really curious what it would be like if I were to apply with a sponge, which I might add a teeny bit on top with a sponge just to see, but I wanna pop on my concealer and do like other minimal things before we come back and do the powder. So let's do that and I will check back in with you guys in a minute. Okay, so concealer is on and initially I feel really good about it. What I remembered is I also bought the Patrick Ta sculpting brush and I have his contour palette in the shade She's Sculpted. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this for you guys in this video as well. So I'm basically just gonna coat this brush and we're gonna be able to carve out and contour with this bad boy. I'm so excited to try it. Okay, here we go. This brush can be kind of tricky because it's a little thicker than I want it to be. Okay, so we are sculpted. I mean, we need to blend obviously. Let's go ahead and use this brush just to like kind of press that in, blend it out. Gonna blend that out a little bit more with my sponge. But I'm loving this so far. I do feel like my face looks super sculpted and those two products worked really well together. Okay, moment of truth. We're going on with the setting powder. I have a fresh pack of my favorite Amazon puffs. We're gonna use a new one. Let's use our cute little pink one. You guys know this is the only way I set with translucent powder now, and I'm very picky with powders. The Givenchy Prism Libre powder is by far my favorite. It's gonna be very hard to top, but let's give this a fair shot. Okay, so I am having a little bit of creasing, which is totally normal because I put this concealer on like 10 minutes ago. So I'm just warming that product up under my eye with my finger and like kind of patting out anything that settled before I set, because once we set, it's gonna set it how it is. So if you're setting a creased concealer, it's gonna stay creased. That's why I generally set my concealer right after, but wanted to try that other product for you. Okay, so let's just go in and pack this on. It looks a little more yellow than I'm used to. I like a more pink powder. I mean, it's translucent, but sometimes translucent can show up yellow on me. Here we go. I'm so nervous. It's definitely grabbing on to dry patches. I don't know if I did too much, but I don't love that. And maybe I shouldn't have used a puff. Like maybe I should have used just a brush. See if I can salvage her a little bit. Dust a little bit of this away. Do you guys see what I mean? Right here, it's grabbing on to this little dry patch. And I am dry, so I mean, that's not great, but like some people have dry skin. So it's a true test. I'm not loving it. I don't love the powder. And I'm sad because I really liked the foundation. And I don't know, I think maybe we use a brush. Let's use a big fluffy and let's just set the rest of the face with a brush and see how that goes. Yeah, it's separating on areas that like, I have like a dry patch up here from a blemish that's healing, and it's grabbing on to the dry. So that's not great for me. The other thing I'm noticing is around my nose. Now this does tend to happen to me, but it feels exacerbated right here, like around my nose. Do you guys see that it's like settling and kind of dry? I mean, I have dry skin today, but like I said, like I like to do my foundation reviews on my skin. Like I don't wait till my skin is perfect to do a review. Like no one's skin is perfect. So I almost feel like the worse my skin is doing, the better the review, because like a foundation should be able to, you know, alleviate some of that. Okay, let's give it a hot minute. I'm gonna try and just, you know, blendy blend, do a little love, and I'm gonna come back in a couple minutes and give you guys an update. Okay, so we have an update and it's a good one. I realized what is so amazing about these products is that you can use the powders and the creams together interchangeably, which is unlike any cream and powder I've ever used. You normally want to do your creams first and then set with powder. So what I did is I went back in with the Sculpt cream and this brush, and I kind of carved out the cheeks a little bit more because I felt like a lot of that was gone. And now I'm going on with the powder and I'm kind of setting that in place, but I'm realizing it's like really making the skin look a lot more flawless and like chiseled and warmed up. And I felt like what I was missing after I applied that powder, like I kind of added back in with the cream. What I wish I had done is like half my face with the Givenchy Prism Libre and the other half with this, with, you know, his powder, just to see if it was really a powder issue, but I definitely think it was. I have a feeling if I were to set that foundation with my favorite powder, it would be fabulous, which I will do for you guys in an upcoming video, just so you can see the difference. But I think, you know, we've talked about this before with foundations. It's really hard the first time. So this is genuinely a first impression and, you know, first impression review. I want to keep using it for you and get back to you with like a full review after using it multiple times. I'm going to quickly pop off the camera and finish up my makeup. I'll let you guys know how everything else played on top of this in like 1 second when I come back to you. Okay, my loves, I am back with my final review. First and foremost, I want to tell you what I did between the last clip and now. So the first thing I did is I drenched my face in my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless setting spray, and then I went over with my Givenchy Prism Libre powder. And truly, I felt like that powder completely saved everything. Truly, like it really just reset the entire face. It smoothed out areas that I felt like weren't smoothed enough with the Patrick Ta powder. It brightened. It did everything that that powder does, or the reason I'm obsessed with that powder. I don't love that I needed to quote unquote save the foundation. And I don't even really think it was the foundation. For me, I personally think it was the translucent powder. And I think that could have been a couple of things. First of all, the shade, I do feel like I lean towards preferring a pink shade. Let me zoom you in so you can see my face a little bit better. Okay, so I lean towards, my preference is pink, more of a pink powder. So that's not the powder's fault. And the other thing is I feel like what I should have done, and because this is a pressed translucent powder and it's not a loose translucent powder, it is different. So I feel like when I went on with the puff and just went here and straight onto my face, it was too thick, too cakey. I think a brush would have applied it better. And I also think if I had done a little tap tap and a little tap tap on the wrist to get the excess, which is what I do with my Givenchy, things could have been different. Take that for what it is. I'm just giving you guys my real first impression review. Like I said, I have a hard time like taking a hard stance on a product just after using it one time. I always like to use things multiple times before I say like, yes, I'm obsessed with it, or no, I hate it. So right now I'm right in the middle. I do think there are, now that I know how the product works, I do think there are ways I could use it better and ways that are gonna make me like it even more. And that just comes with using a foundation a couple of times. So anyway, that is basically where we're at. The only other thing I did that I didn't tell you about is after, you know, obviously I did like my mascara and my eyes, my lips, I went on the face with my Dior palette, which has quickly become an all-time favorite. Like it does something to the skin in the glowiest, most beautiful way. Also, one of you told me to use this bronzer on its own, and I did put it over top the bronzer that I already had on, and I love it. It is not too shimmery. Like it really gives this beautiful, oh, it's gorgeous. What bums me out is that I feel like the Givenchy powder and the Dior palette are more stars of the show of this video than the actual foundation and translucent powder. So again, it's a first impression. Take it with a grain of salt. Also keep in mind, my skin is like having a tough time right now. So I just want to be like totally honest with you guys. But that doesn't mean this isn't a good foundation. This doesn't mean you wouldn't be obsessed with it. It just means I'm not over the moon. And there are foundations that I've tried that you guys have seen, foundation reviews that I've done that I'm like immediately yes. You know, the NARS one that I just did, immediately yes. I'm gonna go through and give you guys a Sephora basically like cheat sheet list of everything I would buy. So basically if I were starting from scratch buying on the Sephora sale, what I would buy, and that's gonna be not my next video, but the following. So it'll be up next Wednesday, because the Sephora sale, I believe, starts Thursday. So it's gonna be up right before, you're gonna be ready to go, you're gonna have your carts full. But I wanted to do the Mario foundation review and the Dior foundation review, so I'm gonna try and get those two up before the Sephora video as well. So stay tuned. That's the Patrick Ta foundation and translucent powder review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. Let me know if there's anything I'm missing that I didn't mention or questions you have about it, or any requests for stuff before the Sephora sale that I may not have thought of. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in my next one.